I want to ask you a question. Do you know who's living in poverty in this country? You might be surprised. Watch this.
I'm 46 years old. I've lived in poverty here in West Virginia every day of my life. And I'm working. I am working poor with a bachelor's degree. I'm doing the best I can with what I have.
I'm a second-generation fast food worker, and I've experienced the cycle of poverty firsthand.
I worked 41 years in the coal mines. I have black lung.
I'm a Vietnam veteran. My only chance of going to college was joining the Army.
Hi, my name is Pamela Roach. I'm from Downs County, Alabama, and I live in a mobile home with my 2 kids. And I got raw sewage. I don't have no money. I'm poor.
In my community, we were all shut off for the day because none of us could afford our water bills. In the past, my family wasn't able to afford electricity in the winter.
That is a video from the Poor People's Campaign website. Reverend William Barber is the co-leader of that campaign, trying to challenge the evils of racism, of poverty in this country. The group is holding a 2020 presidential forum tomorrow. It's happening in Washington. Several candidates, including former Vice President Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders as well, will be attending, and Reverend Barber is with us now. Reverend, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. I understand that of all the people that are attending, you're going to be taking questions, or they're going to be taking questions directly from you, directly from some of the advocates that are there. What do you anticipate they will be dealing with?
Yes, thank you so much. My co-chair, Reverend Liz Theo Harris, and other candidates like Kamala Harris and Senator Warren, 10 presidential candidates, the largest forum of its type so far. They'll be taking questions from the 140 people representing the 140 million poor people in this country. 43.5% of this country live in poverty and low wealth. 39 million children, 21 million seniors above 65. We have 26 million black people, 38 million Latino people, and 66 million white people. This represents every race, color, and creed. And the people who are in poverty are going to be raising questions, talking about the connection between systemic racism, policy racism, poverty, ecological devastation, the war economy, militarism, and the distorted moral narrative of religious nationalism, what we call the interlocking injustices that are impacting 43.5% of this country. And they're going to tell their stories, but also talk about the policies that must be implemented, not based on left, not based on right, not based on conservative or liberal or Democrat or Republican, but based on our deepest moral values out of our Constitution and our deepest moral values out of our religious tenets that demand that poverty ought to be addressed up front in any nation. In 2016, Chris, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say, what do you think they are going to specifically ask of these candidates?
Well, we're going to release a moral poverty budget tomorrow as well in the morning. They're going to be talking about living wages. They're going to be talking about how we have to have social safety nets for the poor rather than giving more corporate welfare to the wealthy. They're going to be talking about why health care is so critical. They're going to be asking candidates questions like, what do you think about the fact that we've seen racist voter suppression like we haven't seen since the days of Jim Crow? And guess what? The persons that mostly benefit from racist voter suppression, when they get into office, they pass policies that hurt mostly white people. All of the states that are racist voter suppression gerrymandering states are the same states that have the highest child poverty, highest women in poverty, the lowest wages, the lack of health care, and so forth and so on. They are interlocking injustices. And so we're going to be raising first the awareness and then talking about why we've got to get rid of this racist voter suppression, why we need health care for everybody, why we have to fully fund public education,
Reverend,
and so forth and so on.
Might I ask you, you say that we need to get honest about the politics of rejection. What do you mean by that?
that we are rejecting too many people, that this Poor People's Campaign and our work is a game changer. It's saying let's focus on the rejected. We cannot continue to keep rejecting the poor, rejecting the hurting, and only talking about the middle class and the wealthy. That is only a way for this country to be disempowered. And this is bigger than the next election. This is about whether America can be America itself. It is about our long-term health as a country. You cannot have 43.5% of your people basically ignored, and you have presidential campaigns like we had in 26, and not 1 hour of any debate was focused on poverty, even though 43.5% of your people in poverty and 250,000 people die every year from poverty.
Now, 2020 hopeful Amy Klobuchar, she's talked about poverty in the country. Let's listen together to what she said here.
Democrats, we must take on child poverty. Today, 15 million children in America are living in poverty. There are children who fall asleep at their desks because they can't get a good night's sleep when they don't have a bed or a home. Virginia Democrats, we can do this. We can cut child poverty in half in 10 years and end child poverty in a generation. We can do it.
Reverend, are you hopeful that 2020 is going to be different than 2016?
Well, I have to be honest about that. First of all, the numbers are wrong. There are 39 million children in poverty and low wealth, and we can't wait a generation. We can't wait 10 years. And there are 62 million people who work every day for low wealth, below the living wage, and there are 37 million people without health care, and 4 million people that get up every morning and can't buy unleaded water, but they can buy unleaded gas. We can't keep talking about generational change and 10 and 20 years. These are problems we must address now. I'm hopeful that it's mentioned, but we must get more serious about the immediacy of the issue. That's
Reverend,
right.
I just have a couple of seconds here, but I wanted to ask you, as I understand it, you did invite President Trump to attend as well. Did you get a response from him?
No, we didn't. In fact, our campaign invited the others who are talking about running on that side of the aisle, because we're not interested in this left-right, puny, anemic debate. We're interested in the moral center, establishing justice and caring for the least of these. And we're inviting everybody because it's a time that this country, we must stand up and challenge all of our elected leaders to address systemic racism, poverty, ecological devastation, the war economy, and the false moral narrative of religious nationalism. Otherwise, our country is in deep trouble.
Reverend William Barber, we appreciate you taking the time to be with us. Good luck at the event tomorrow.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. You too.